And we're back. Hi there, this is Luxuries Updated. This is basically me, Lewis Dublin, Bob, whatever you want to call me, looking at all video games and just talking over them and ruining many playthroughs. I was doing these for about a year and I took a break for a couple of months. I basically went on holidays in Skyrim. I upgraded my PC and ended up playing through Oblivion and then getting a copy of Skyrim and playing through that, and then spending about 50% of my time fixing Skyrim to actually get it working because it's basically still not finished yet. So there's lots of people out there doing Skyrim let's plays, and they do them better than I would. So I figured, what better time than go back and look at the video games. And because I've been doing the whole Dawnguard thing within the game, I decided, let's go look at some vampire games, and this is my favourite. People talk about Castlevania, whatever, but this is my favourite series of vampire games. So it's because they're so over the top. Okay, let's just show you a little bit of CGI.
There is a magical operation of maximum
blood, gore, ichor, whatever.
The initiation of a new aeon.
This game was released in 1995
to utter a word. The whole
on the PlayStation.
Planet must be bathed in blood.
Sorry, I couldn't interrupt it there towards the end. Yeah, so basically it was released on the PlayStation and the PC. It's completely over the top. The voice acting, with the exception of one scene at the start, is very good. The guy who does Kain is a guy called Simon Templeman, and I don't know if he does many other... He turns up in the odd game here or there. He basically turns up the odd thing on TV. I think he was an angel or one of those things, as a ghost that lived in their basement or something. But it's the voice acting in this, it's completely over the top, but it totally suits it. There's a load of other people that crop up there in other video games as well. In fact, actually, now I think about it, the actress who plays Skylar at Breaking Bad is in this as well, believe it or not. This lovely chap here is called, is it Vorador? I think he's called Vorador. Or was it Raptor? I forget which, but basically he's a vampire. And he's a happy chap. See? I think because it was pretty hard to line up all the characters, they don't really go into the whole neck biting thing. They're more into sort of doing some sort of weird blood telekinesis thing.
For fulfilling the circle mallet of the Skyrim, you are hereby damned.
Do these scenes make any sense to you? Because when I was started playing this game, they didn't to me. I love his sort of aw shucks head thing he does there. It's great.
You have but one purpose, damn warrior.
You've but one purpose: be an end of level boss. Basically, all the stuff that's happening in these cutscenes is just not explained for ages. By the way, if you've, and this is kind of a spoiler here, but if you've played the Soul Reaver games, these pillars crop up a fair bit. I'm going to actually try and look at all the games right through to, I think Defiance was the last one.
The tavern's closing. Best be on your way, stranger. What? No mug of ale for a weary traveller from distant Corhagen?
Exposition.
I can reward you well, for I am of noble blood. I stay
the
open
question
for
you could
no
ask
man
yourself
in
is,
these
why is
dark
the innkeeper
times.
carrying a pink,
Things
a
come with the
slightly
night that
pinky
no
purple
sane
umbrella with
man
him?
would welcome. And so I left.
And just walking back and
Cold
forth.
of heart and soul, forced to the road, and the long, bitter night.
So this is the titular Kain. You start off, you've got a swipey swipe move, a zoomy zoom. There's a map, but I don't think they bother giving you. Oh, there we go. Look, this is you. You are here. There we go. And that's basically it. Now, the next part is see how long you can last as a puny human.
That's him! Save Victus! Save Victus!
I took one of them with me. Let's see, can I get any more? Alright. Take that primary colour bandit.
Save Victus! us!
And then they all come.
End it! Now!
You know he's the boss because he's got a different costume. Then now follows a very quick CGI film, filling you in on the whole vampire situation.
Fey, Victus. Suffering to the conquered. Ironic that now I was the one suffering. Not anything as pedestrian as physical pain, rather the cruel jab of impotent anger. The hunger for revenge. I didn't care if I was in heaven or hell. All I wanted was to kill my assassins. Sometimes you get what you wish for. The necromancer Mortanius offered me a chance for vengeance, and like a fool, I jumped at his offer without considering the cost. Nothing is free. Not
In fairness,
even revenge.
if he hadn't taken his offer, it'd just be Fiery Pillar Simulator 95, and it wouldn't be much of a game, really. You know, standing there, writhing. Bit of
You
charring.
will have the blood you hunger for.
So this is basically the start of the game proper. Or the proper start of the game, whatever way you want to look at it.
I awoke to the pain of a new existence, in a dank womb of darkness and decay.
We've all been there, Kain. Usually after a night out, in fairness. So, as you can see, when it was released, a lot of the reviews were kind of like, oh my god, why are there no 3D graphics? Because this is the PlayStation era. You know, basically a vampire game that got slated for being 2D. It was literally like Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Now, while they're two totally different games, it works pretty well.
The sanctuary spell enables me to travel to my crypt, where the soil of my grave provides me respite. I often resort to this when I am weak and need nourishment.
So, the gist of it is, you pick up spells, you gain ability, and as you defeat guys, you have an option to doing that. Sucky, you think, well, okay, let's not call it that, because that's just weird. You basically can do the whole vampire blood thing. Now, like I said, I think that was there as a kind of bug fix. I think originally you were supposed to go up to them and, you know, nibble on their neck, but it's probably a bit hard to align them, and they just went with that cool looking telekinesis thing instead.
Reputed to have been ripped from the chest of the greatest vampire to have ever existed, Janos Audron, the heart of darkness restores vampiric unlife. Life is precious, Janos discovered, as it was torn, throbbing and bleeding from his own body.
See that? You don't get that kind of voiceover in Mario. That Janos Audron, he actually crops up in one of the games later on, and he's played by Odo. Yep. I can't pronounce the guy's surname, but it's basically the dude that plays Odo from Dead Space 9, and he's really good. Alright, here's the moral dilemma. That's a power up there, right? As you may notice down the bottom of the screen, you've got your power bar, and you'll have a magic bar in a minute. But to fill it up, you have an option of topping up with these wenches.
Bears with it a dark gift indeed, for with it my life force is increased.
So when you start the game off, unless you're some sort of weird sociopath, you basically go, look, I'm going to be a good guy, I'm not going to, you know, nibble on the defenceless chained up wenches. And I tell you, within about 25 minutes of playing the game, you will be attacking and eating everything that comes near you. Anyway, listen, what kind of life is it living in the crypt? You do them a favour.
These ancient symbols of power contain raw magical energy that increases my own capacity to summon energy for the spawning of spells.
Basically, it's a mana bar. Oh, there we go. Skeleton. It's a crypt. You gotta have a walking skeleton. Maybe they're the people that chained the wenches up. I don't know. It's never really explained.
Within the walls of these chambers I could find respite, and if I so chose, resume my journey when my weariness abated.
basically it's a save point. So you can go in there, click and save. I've actually saved already. Now we can zoom in, zoom out. This lets you pick your various options. That's basically a top up for the old health. You can't break the pots because it's not actually Zelda. I know I called it Zelda with fangs, but you know, it's 100% rupee free. Now, let's go outside.
When rainfall comes, vampires are wise to find shelter from its acidic touch.
At no point in the game do you actually end up getting an umbrella. You'd think, you know, it makes sense. It basically follows the logic that vampires aren't as strong in sunlight as opposed to turning into a firelighter. Because it, again, wouldn't be much fun. Oops. So, as I said, it follows the Zelda sort of route of exploration, picking up devices, and then when you hit when you hit something you can't get by, usually you backtrack a bit, and then you gain the new ability, and that helps you get past them. If I told you my finger slipped and I didn't mean to do that, would you believe me? The magic, by the way, is oops, kind of cornered here. It's used later on for a couple of different abilities. There we go, every little helps. So, let's zoom in a bit so that I can't see anything. I did not mean to do that. Yeah, basically I've just used up that Heart of Darkness there. Now folks, as you can probably guess, this is a... There we go. It's a switch puzzle.
These curious devices hurl bolts of whirling energy and eviscerate my human enemies by stripping ragged flesh from blood-stained bone.
I'm just saying you don't get those kind of descriptions in Meteoroid. Let's... Oh, no, we don't want to equip that. There we go, let's equip one of these instead. Yummy. Now, again, it follows the Zelda format in that you basically will... There's rocks that you can't move right now, but later on, you'll be able to. sorry folks, there was something in there to the right, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, it's a save point. Always handy. Why, I think I will. I was about to start slagging off the emulator and I realised it was actually waiting for me to do something. So let's go for a little walk.
Hunger and weakness are no bar to vengeance's call. I would find my slayers and send them back whence I came.
There he is! I thought you killed you, Backseeker. If we put you down once, we could do it again.
What trickery is this? Their sneering faces were forever etched upon my memory. I had crossed death for this moment. My mind was empty save for one thought. I would kill. There is no greater release than that from vengeance sated. With my assassins dead, my quest was over.
Well, thanks for playing, guys, and we'll see you next time. Ah, I'm only messing. Yeah, basically, if it finished there, it would probably be... It wouldn't be the shortest game ever, but it'd be pretty short.
'Tis not over, Kain. These fools were merely the instruments of your murder, not the cause. Look to their masters, look to the pillars, and gain way to the fortress of the mind.
The world had changed to my eyes. I had not expected such cruelty from the light. For in the embrace of the sun I could find no comfort, only malice. This would change in time for the worse, along with other things. This was where the bloody deed of my murder took place.
So the world is based in Nosgoth. Nosgoth, yep, is a very sort of Germanic-looking place. And so after a while you notice that none of them were attacking you. So, if you're a bit low on health, you could... oh, there we go. So, like I said, you start the game off going, no, I'll only attack them if they attack me, and then, you know, within a few minutes you're knee-deep in blood. It's all fun.
The necromancer had offered me no warning as to what my resurrection would entail, and yet I must confess in my haste I had not sought one. Was his gift a curse? I would seek the pillars for an answer.
So, continue on a merry way, and unfortunately these bandits take up the first. They're your first kind of enemies you deal with, and they're just boring as hell. Oh, hang on, that one's purple. That means he's special. So as I think I mentioned earlier, in sunlight you're a lot weaker And you can't really wait it out. Oh no, he knows my weakness, standing directly on top of me. Okay, I think the pillar's around here somewhere.
As daylight chases darkness, the vampire's power wanes.
If I was going to tell you one thing I hate about the game, it does that horrible thing of having respawning baddies. That looked like it was coming... That didn't look like it was coming out of his neck at all. Oh dear God, I'm not sucking any more blood in this. Okay, at least that looked like it was his chest.
The pillars of Nosgoth. Even in life, few sights have moved me such as this. I marvel that such beauty should grace our dying world.
Well, he's just a ray of sunshine, isn't he? So this is a handy teleport, because it would take ages to walk there. I think we got some CGI coming up.
Nopraptor, your madness has shattered our dreams and blinded you.
Keep your distance, or I'll send you back to hell, spirit!
There is nothing left of me to fear, vampire. I'm only a shadow of my former self, Ari, the balance of the Circle of Nine. Even so, I can provide the answers you seek.
I seek only a cure.
There is no cure for death, only release. You must destroy the sorcery that is now poisoning Nosgoth. Only then will you realize peace. The 9 of the Protectors of Hope were sworn to use their powers to preserve our world. Now these pillars have been corrupted by a traitor. My murder at the hands of this beast drove my love Nopraptor mad. Now he spreads misery and pain among the Circle, crumbling the very foundation of Nosgoth. You must restore balance. You must right the pillars of Nosgoth.
I care not for the fate of this world.
Then for yourself, Kain. Beware the unspoken.
Also, help me buy a car wash. Yeah, so again, as you play through the game, the storyline starts to make a bit of sense.
Nopraptor, with his blind act of vengeance, threatened to destroy all of Nosgoth. Each Circle member was bonded to the pillar he served. The pillars reflected the mental state of their servants, and as the minds of the Circle degenerated and descended farther into dementia, the pillars crumbled. To restore them, each member of the Circle had to die, and the artifact that served as their link to the pillar had to be returned. Only when all the pillars were restored did Ariel claim my curse would end. And so, my hunt for Nopraptor began. The pillar of the mind.
So basically,
The pillar of balance.
you've got 9 kind of bosses,
The pillar of...
and then there's a final boss as well. So let's go here. So that makes 10 bosses, really, doesn't it? Yes. Okay.
In bat form, I can travel great distances with ease. From my vantage in the heavens, no region of Nosgoth is forbidden to me. These beacons serve as landmarks during my flights in bat form. Once I have committed their locations to memory, I can always return.
I like the sort of contradiction there. He says, I can go anywhere, and then immediately afterwards says, I can go anywhere as long as there's one of these pillars there. So basically it's fast travel. So you've got a grand choice of there or there. There's something going on at the top of the screen, but I can't make out what. Anyway, I think we better go back. One of the things I liked about the game was it sort of, instead of just giving you, a bite and say, there you go nuts, it attack a few peasants. It, oh, help if I stopped hitting that button. Okay, why is it? Let's hide here for a minute, folks. Yeah, basically, it gave you a ton of powers, like you could turn into a werewolf or you could turn into mist. You actually became quite powerful towards the end of the game. Speaking of which, I'm going to see if I can find you an example of something a bit later on in the game. That's kind of annoying.
There is a magical operation.
Oh, we've already been in here. That's interesting. No matter what button you assign as your forms to, it always defaults to the triangle. Sorry, folks, this is a problem with the emulator you're seeing here. It's being a bit funny about something, but no matter. Let's see, for the wonder of some save game I downloaded off the internet. Do I have any later? So this is pretty much the end of the game. Just to give you a quick look. Okay. This chap there has
the
been a
Soul
bear.
Reaver.
Ah, yes.
The Soul Reaver. The Soul Reaver. Implode. Flay. The Soul Reaver. Nupraptor's head. Flame sword. Chaos armor. Flesh armor. Wraith armor. Energy bolt. Light.
So this is one of the forms you can look, you can turn to mist. You look like the Space Invader aliens from the artwork in the Space Invaders cabs. Okay. Let's see now. Oh, this is kind of annoying, folks. The buttons are being a bit silly here, so just for 1 second, I will make sure they don't try and do anything really silly. Sorry about that. So anyway, I won't bore you with the details of what's happening here, but this is the super end of level, or end of game baddie. You've already gone through 1 or 2 different incarnations of him. There we go. Get my lovely flame sword.
Save Victus! Save Victus! Save Victus!
He takes a bit of going down, this guy. Now, the great thing about this game is that there's 2 endings, so I'm not completely spoiling it if I actually finish it.
Save Victus! Save Victus! The Heart of Darkness. Save Victus!
Now, it does this nice thing of letting you save, so you can... Oops. Ah, bugger, I forgot to save! No! Alright, well, I guess I get to show you one ending or the other.
I am the last pillar, the only survivor of the Circle of Nine. At my whim, the world will be healed or damned. At my whim.
And he's a whimsical kind of guy. Basically, folks, what I'll do is I think I'm going to show you the bad ending because, you know, you have an option of, if you do play this, you can go for the good one. But the bad ending is what the other games use.
Once I embraced my powers, I realized that Vorador was correct. We are gods. Dark gods. And it is our duty to thin the herd.
A winner is you! Okay, so that was a quick look at Legacy of Kain. Just to give you an idea, like I said, Zelda with fangs. Well worth checking out. If you get it on the PSN network, get a copy of eBay or whatever. It's worth playing as well to see the proper... In fairness to it, it gives a big long... the good ending is very long, if I remember rightly. In fact, that was what you were supposed to go for, if you know what I mean. But it's the bad ending that all the other games use. And there's a fair... Like I said, I've skipped over all the storyline and stuff and time travel and craziness and ghosts, and there's just a whole lot going on there, so it's well worth checking out. But yeah, so there you go. Legacy of Kain. A very quick look at the start, a very quick look at the end. And thanks for watching.